success of that film made me feel that I'm on the right path, and then yes, there's a not every those you read a lot, but then of course some works strike you more than the others because of the cinematic possibilities in those. Like as I said, that Anhe Ghore Da Daan, that was a story set in a day's time, and it was evoking it was evoking almost like an eternity, an era, and or a complete. You say it was evoking much more than what than you feel that a day can evoke for you. So, and then then I was reading then of course then immediately after that I had read Varyam's stories, and I completely related to the period in which they were set, because it was of the 80s, which I grew up in, and which was a disturbed period for Punjab, and I was witness to the 84 riots in Delhi, and so it kind of and of course one had read a lot about, through daily news one had read about the disturbed period in Punjab, and then suddenly there were these stories which were telling about the Punjab of that time, but not through kind of its main principal protagonist, but through what was happening to people, to common people,
Kinky stories.
Varyam Singh something. So one story was Chauthi Koot, and the other was Main Hoon Theek Thaak Khan. So there was this collection. So Chauthi Koot, if you see, is a collection of 5-6 stories. So I picked up these 2 stories from it and combined it into a single screenplay. And that's how Chauthi Koot came about. And then, so from dealing with the kind of caste-ridden society, talking about a caste-ridden society and the acts of the Dalit caste, then coming into this politics of identity and separatism, and then the third film, the Chandigarh, is again a novel of Gurvinder Singh, deals with the inner workings of the Jat caste, and what happens in I felt it went into the mental makeup of the landowning class, and so that's the third film for the future films. So I've written a couple of stories which I am screenplays, scripts which are my own original stories, and living in Punjab and traveling regularly in Punjab and meeting people from various walks of life and getting to know about so as I said, the writer in me now is at least the storyteller in me more than a writer, because writing for a film is very different from writing for literature, because we are when writing also we are visualizing everything in terms of images and sounds, but a literary writer writes differently, and our writing engagement and the writing necessities are very different. One should be able to evoke a film for somebody to whom you are presenting the script. So it's a different engagement. And the painter, I don't know. I love the medium of painting, and I love to paint. I primarily see myself as a visual artist who ended up making films. If I was not making films, perhaps, I don't know, maybe I would be a painter or a photographer. I don't know what I would be today. But I do want to keep that engagement alive, and let's hope I'm able to present my works in the future, which I really want to, because I have accumulated a lot of work I think I've been now seriously painting for about 15 years, on and off, not I don't think I've painted for the last 1 year. So that kind of, but certainly I know if I start painting tomorrow, I will do some series of work in one go. So I do hope that and it will be really nice to present the works in a place like Chandigarh, and which is not so competitive as the art scene of Delhi or Bombay. So it's a very relaxed kind of place, and yeah.
The question is, usually it's very difficult to satisfy the reader in your experience.
I mean, it's nothing to do with, why should we make a film to satisfy the reader of the literary work, and it's a completely different medium, and it should work in that medium. The films should be doing justice to cinema rather than doing justice to literature. There is no doubt about that, and it should take off from literature, but arrive at a language which is possible only in cinema. And I think it was very fascinating that when I made Anhe Ghore Da Daan and Gurvinder Singh eventually saw the film after 1 year. He was unwell and I had to send him a DVD, and he saw the film at home. And I was like waiting for his response. What would he say? The film had already by then won awards and all that. But I didn't know how will he personally react to the works, the adaptation I had done of his novel. And then he calls me after seeing the film, and first thing he says is, seeing the mainu film dekh ke mainu literature or cinema de bare da fark pata chalta. So he said that he realized the difference between literature and cinema seeing the film, which I felt was such a big compliment. That here is somebody who's it's his work, and he's kind of being respectful to the medium in which it has been adapted, and you feel that it has become a new being, rather than just an illustration of what he has written. So that's what it should not be, an illustration of what you have written. It should arrive at its own integrity, its own being, which is like the way human, like as a species, how we are different from other animals, So it's like cinema is a being, and then it has its life, its organs, its vitality, which is true to it, which is different from, say, painting or theatre or literature or another art forms like music, and it should arrive at that truth of its own being.
So what are the next projects we see from you?
Yeah, as I said, I'm writing. I've written a couple of scripts and stories myself, and one of them is a film I'm making, and I'm hoping to make a big shift, and I'm trying to make a musical.
Musical.
Yeah, with songs in it. So it's a story of a singer.
And is it going to be set in Punjab?
It's set in Punjab. It's in Punjabi with songs in Punjabi and maybe one or two songs in Hindi. But because the singer also sings in Hindi sometimes, it's the story of a woman singer. That's all I can tell right now.
Sounds very meaningful.
And I'm actually casting a singer for it.
Oh, no.
So the actor will be singing the. But then that's a tradition. In that sense, Punjabi films, you see most of the stars they are mostly male stars, who have gone on to become film stars, but then the way the songs are used in that, they don't play singers in the film. They're like typical any other hero of in films who kind of do background. So there's like playback singing is used as. They never play themselves. So, but this is different, So she's playing herself in the film.
And can you share the name yet?
No, not yet. I can't announce till the project is announced. When the project goes on floor, we'll announce it. I mean, I felt, if one kept doing what one liked doing, it will eventually. The question of livelihood, of course, it's still, my films don't make much money. Hardly. I don't think any film of mine has made any profit, but I consider myself so lucky to have made these films, to have been given the opportunity by the people, especially like the way National Film Development Corporation is back with Anhe Ghore Da Daan and Chauthi Koot also, and then now I'm regularly and I'm working now with Bobby Bedi, who was the producer of Bandit Queen and films like Satya. So he comes from he's made like a very kind of crossover film like Bandit Queen also, which won international acclaim, and then he's made Bollywood films also. So he feels that so he's now kind of I'm working very closely with them, and he wants to back me to make and we try and let's say realize the project together. So I'm lucky to have that kind of backing, and it's like him backing me, and let's hope we go on to make more films.
And what is the value of all the awards and recognition that has come your way?
Of course, it helps. I mean, it's a kind of. First of all, it's satisfying for myself to be recognized, and I don't think any artist will disagree with that. That recognition is very important, and it gives you confidence to. For me, the important thing about recognition, it gives you confidence to work further, and to go ahead in the direction you are going, and to follow your instinct, your gut instinct, and keep doing what you're doing. And I think that's the value of recognition.
Thank you so very much.